Okay, my friends, it is time for Red 13's legendary solo bout. Now, Red is the one that I probably use the least other than Kate Sith. Red, in general, I think he's very good once you learn how to use him, but if you're inexperienced in using him and his vengeance mode and all that stuff, I think this could be where you get found out. And so I was definitely worried about this one. He does have a lot of like natural HP and he's strong, and like vengeance mode you can regain HP without needing to use heals, that kind of thing. But I hadn't really needed to put it all together. I dabbled with it a little bit and I was enjoying using like Stardust Ray and that kind of thing. But in terms of like actually using him as a proper solo character, I definitely didn't have much practice and I wasn't particularly looking forward to this one. Because I think you can be sure that the solo challenges are designed in a way that they want you to use the character's specific abilities, and you're going to be facing enemies that probably are a good matchup for you to utilize that. And that means, of course, vengeance mode. So for Red, I wasn't quite as sure exactly what to go for. I went for a bit more of an all-round setup as I had been for some of the other solo characters. So this wasn't like Aerith where I had like a, more of a specific aim kind of thing. I had like my enemy skill, my HP up, MP up, that kind of stuff. Obviously some of my elemental protections. I put poison on, just in case obviously I could chip through some of the enemies. I decided to try the Speed Demon keychain as my accessory. I figure Red is naturally quite fast and agile, so I thought like, I might make him a bit more able to fill up ATB even faster. So with that, let's have a look at this first attempt for Red 13's Legendary Challenge. This one was definitely not as quick as Aerith's and not as easy. Wasn't terrible, but I definitely did not get through first time. But let's have a look anyway. See how far I did get. I did look up the rounds once again, so I knew what I was facing in advance. And the first round is against 6 of these. So 3 guesses what the main threat of this particular round is going to be. Polywog Punch. So as soon as I have ATB here, I'm trying to give myself a window, but they're really chasing me down. And I'm trying to use Resist here in advance. So now that I can resist being hit by that, it's not a problem anymore. So Resist is a really nice status. Well, buff. And so yes, I am taking damage. Pretty decent damage, honestly, once they all gang up on you. But the plan was to basically Stardust Ray all of them and hope for like a one-hit KO here. And there it is. So not too bad. I did take a decent chunk of damage. I would have liked to have taken less, but Resist did a nice job there. Without Resist, you're really on the back foot if you don't have ATB. Now, this guy. I think, in general, I think it really was a test of learning how to block better and how to charge our Vengeance mode and then make use of that, because these hits are heavy, and so if you go too aggressive and you're not blocking properly, you're going to take a lot of damage here. Okay. So getting the bio on there, but you see those hits, they're really big. There's basically nothing below 1,000 if you're not blocking. And if you go too aggressive, you're going to get slapped. So I'm basically trying to play Red as if I'm playing any other character, but Red obviously has his own kind of distinct style that you kind of need to start to learn to use and embrace. But in this first attempt I did it very, very badly. Okay, Exhausted, he gave me a tiny chance there, but obviously he doesn't have any range. I'm used to like characters like Cloud, for example, where you can kind of roll and then you can like punish with the blade beams and stuff, or you have long range characters. But Red is basically like Tifa. You have to be right next to the enemy to be able to actually do damage. 844 even with a block, like that's a lot, man. So Vengeance mode being used here. I gain back 491. It's not bad, but considering how big the damage is that I take, like 491 is not great. You have to make sure you're dodging while you regain as well, or like getting perfect blocks in. But I'm making a little bit of a comeback here, considering how badly I started. It could have been worse. But just too much damage for me to deal with at the moment. And while I do have the troubled status effect that I should probably get rid of, but every ATB I get, I'm basically having to use it to heal. But getting close to a stagger here, so I might have a chance soon. And then this move here, I remembered that it could be good. Anything that's 2 ATBs is probably something you should make use of. So there you go. So just trying to learn him a little bit more, make use of some more of his abilities. And now I have a big window here to get the stagger. Let's see if I can finish it off here. So definitely not a very good fight at all here, but delivers a deadly strike. Potency is inversely proportional to current HP. I was relatively low at the time, so I thought it might be a good choice. It did do a decent amount of damage before, but I couldn't finish it off, unfortunately. So still also not doing very well in terms of damage output either. Having a look here to see if any of these would potentially help, but Soothing Breeze just like plants you on the spot. It's incredibly dangerous. It's a very niche one to use. I didn't want to use the MP here. I'm just trying my best to see can I get away without using MP, but
it's all good.
This is just another enemy where basically every single attack is parryable. You can do this like no damage if you learn how to press R1 at the right time. I think so. I think every single one here, like Rage, all of these, they're all blockable. So this kind of more runaway, cowardly approach, it can work as you're seeing, but I don't think it's anywhere near the best way to beat this guy. And also, it doesn't charge Vengeance mode, and that's why it's not a good idea. But I'm getting close here. I'm wearing him down. It just does so much damage that I don't want to stand there and block either. Like, sometimes even a block is like 800, 900 damage. So there we go. That's the second round done. That trunk vibrating. The hell. So we're still in it, but definitely not doing a great job here. Now this enemy, in all the attempts I had, I never ended up figuring out a good way to beat this guy. What I did see pretty early on is that the flatten move is an excellent window to just get away from there and then land some hits afterwards. It's a pretty obvious punish window. But you saw that move Slobber, it did like 4,000 damage. If you get hit by one of those, you're going to be in big, big trouble. So flatten coming again, and once he, as you can see, after flatten, you get a nice big window to be able to either heal or use something. So inflicting enough damage on their tongues will pressure them, countering their tongue and all that kind of stuff. It's another one. Again, you have to press R1 at the right time, you have to counter at the right time. Red is very much like he's more like Tifa. He's much more of a physical fighter. So to get the best out of him, I think you really need to learn your blocks. But yeah, you can see the tongue doesn't stay out for very long. So I went for it, but the tongue already went inside, and the move just got completely wasted. So I used up MP, and I got nothing. So it wasn't even the tongue went inside and it just hit the toad instead. It was a complete waste. Capture, also a nasty one. So this enemy is just really nasty. I think there's a relatively specific way to beat him, but for now at least I just didn't really know what the best method was. I never really ended up finding out. So I'm very much on the back foot. I'm just doing what I can to try and survive here.
Snap out of it.
Eventually I want to start trying to put some bio and some venom on there. And it just never stops chasing you down. It's just a difficult enemy to deal with. And just when you think maybe it's taking a little bit of a breather, it will do flat and it can jump across the arena to flatten you, so not ideal. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can use here. Anything to give me a little bit of extra passive damage. Yeah, so now you're seeing, like, after flatten, I'm starting to actually take my chance, come in a bit, do some extra damage, build up some ATB. And that was generally the only safe loop that I could find. Like, flatten's very easy to dodge. And so you can build up your ATB with that kind of stuff. And well, at the end of the day, the stagger gauge is going up, so I can't complain too much. See what happens with this. Of course it missed. This is why I don't like Blizzara. I try to use it as little as possible. That was 2 there, 2 Blizzaras that did absolutely nothing. So again, you have to time the Blizzara too, you can't just use it whenever you want. That was bad. But in general at this stage I think I'd realised that if I play it passively and I mostly only attack after flatten, I can pretty much survive indefinitely. And well, that's always one of the first steps to being able to beat something. If you can survive for as long as you want, you probably have a good chance to win. Let's have a look.
My paws are freezing.
Yeah, so after flatten, you do get to make it work. But it's got a lot of HP, man. Like, that magic is not doing a lot of damage. And it also means it's not regaining very much MP for me either. Yeah. 2,600 damage and it's barely anything. Like, this guy has a supreme amount of HP. But you see, I'm not even bothering to heal at this stage. I feel relatively confident that I can make it through without being hit. So I'm going to show you guys one stagger, then I'm going to move the fight ahead. There you go. Finally he's exhausted. Took a long time. And there's a stagger. Like, on the stagger, other than Stardust Ray, I don't really know what to do. But I was low on HP, so I thought this would be a good idea. And it did do some nice damage for me. Try another one. There we go. So it wasn't incredible damage, but I got it done. It did manage to sneak a hit in on me. But it's basically the same loop again and again after this. So what we're going to do, we're going to move the fight ahead here. Okay, so now we almost have another stagger. There's a stagger. So I was very patient for this one. Just, you know, doing more of what you saw before. Just waiting for those flattens and then just building up ATB and punishing afterwards. And using Blizzara when I got the chance. It's a shame you can't carry limits over to the next fight. But there you go. This one took a long time. It was a bit of a slog, but we made it. And then we came to my nemesis. This guy caused me some problems. It's this guy. It's so aggressive, so fast, so much damage. Really, really nasty. This was one where you really have to, like, you can't do what you've been doing for the previous ones because it's faster than you. So you can't just, like, run away indefinitely like you did against the Gigantoad. And that's why automatically it just got more difficult. So this first attempt here is not going to go so well, but I'll show you the winning one after this so you can see how I overcame it. So it grows pressure over time. That's kind of the key here, really. I just wasn't exploiting it being under pressure. Obviously I was trying, but you know, it didn't work out as well as it should have. For now, I know I'm going to constantly keep getting chipped away and get hit from this guy, so I need to try my best to kind of stay alive here. Dodge the electric discharge, but it's just so quick, like, especially when you have no range. He's very annoying to try and do anything to. Can barely land anything before it jumps away again. And obviously what that means is that you can't build up ATB either. And anything that it hits you with is going to be thousands of damage. Completely wrecked. Absolutely destroyed. So what we're going to do, we're going to move forward to a winning attempt against this guy so you can see how it looked. Okay, so just finished off Gigantoad with a big limit break, and I have full MP as well. This time what I also did was give myself some elemental lightning protection, so you can see the electric discharge. I got hit with that for over 3,000 damage on a previous attempt, so I thought, shit, like that's something I can avoid. So I probably should. Now, let's see how different this looks to the first one. So I took the hit there so that I could charge up Vengeance mode. Go straight into Vengeance mode here. You can already see, like in Vengeance mode, he just moves a little different. He has a little more range, a little bit more power. And the pressure goes up very quickly there. You saw I got a few swipes in, and the pressure just grew very rapidly. So it was a matter of just like taking a couple of hits from the start to charge up that Vengeance gauge. Even though I'm missing a ton of hits here, you can already see it looks very different. He just moves a bit more quickly and effectively as well. Regen again here.
It's all good.
So the pressure is already over half. Last time I struggled to build up any pressure. So definitely need to continue to kind of be on the attack here, because that pressure is quite easy to pressure him up. And then once you get that stagger, obviously, then things change a little bit. So that was a nice little block. Just before it could do that really annoying move. I still think, for me, usually a Stardust Ray is the best move. Let's see what I end up doing here. I don't remember what I did for this one. Decide to go for the Sonic Boom. I figure like I can do this and then maybe Stardust Ray while I have Faith and Bravery. Yeah, I think that's what I went for. Ultimately, it was too slow. It wasn't the best idea, but at least I can carry that Bravery and Faith through for later. So now things get a little bit dangerous again. Got to make sure I stay careful here. But you can see I'm a bit more on the front foot than I was on my first attempt. And especially with Vengeance mode, it's kind of okay if you just block. Even if you, as long as you've got the health to take it, you don't have to be very perfect because you still get the nice bonus of Vengeance mode. So now what you're going to see, I charged up 2 ATBs. And I'm going to give it a Stardust Ray here. Look at that. It stun locks it. So that's a nice little way to slow it down as well. Definitely made a big difference there. Sonic Boom once again, and then the limit break. So I try to remember to do that when I have the enemy skill materia, just to give myself that extra bit of firepower. So definitely looking way better than last time. Okay, Vengeance mode looking good. Still haven't used it for this one yet. That was not very good. I've got tons of MP, so I don't need to be stingy here. We're good. Just need to wait for that amp up again. There you go, into Vengeance mode we go. Gets amped up. Trying to get the 2 ATBs now. I'm going to show a move that I haven't shown yet, which is one of the best moves for Red, which I finally started to utilize here. This should be it. Do I use it now? Or do I stun lock? Yeah. Okay. Retaliate. Here we go. Look at this. 5,335 damage there. So he just basically waits for the enemy, takes less damage than a normal attack would, like if it just hit him, and then he's able to retaliate with big damage. So it's really nice. So I couldn't quite finish it off here. Just have to wait for one more opportunity. Yeah, mistimed that one, that was bad. But yeah, mix of that retaliation, basically being a bit more aggressive once it's pressured, and trying to, you know, once it's amped up, try and get it to that stagger as quickly as possible. Definitely made a big difference. loves using that move. Okay. Yeah, just not having the range there is always a bit annoying. You really have to be up in its face. Continuing to play it safe here. Just want to make sure I finish it off properly. Yeah, electric discharge is super annoying because if you are playing like in a very close quarters kind of way, electric discharge will stun you if it hits you. And then it will get free attack. There you go, that was a nice block. And with that, I'm able to use Blood Fang and finish it off. So far from perfect, but definitely a much safer fight than the first one. And let's see who the finale is going to be. Oh boy. So remember that resist that I used way back in the beginning? That's going to come in pretty handy here. So it comes in with Rancid Breath, which is a little bit rude, I think. Just from the get-go. But as long as we keep our range here, we'll be okay. This guy's also weak to ice. So that's another reason we have our kind of magic setup geared towards ice. But like anything, you take any kind of hit, it's over 1,000 damage. Resist. Yeah, this fight without resist or some kind of... I think resist is way better than the warding materia. Because warding, like, it just doesn't cover enough stuff. So I don't have to worry here. This is all kind of just like free attack for me. I am taking damage, yes, but I don't have to worry about the state's effects at least. Thankfully, once again, I've got all of my MP left over for this final round, so I can definitely put it to good use. Just anything to do a bit of extra damage. And soon I'm going to start to get the Blizzaras coming in as well. So this wasn't too much of a Vengeance mode fight, if I'm being honest. But that, with the block, it was 1,900 damage, which is enormous. So since this guy... take a little bit of a risk here. Go for the Blizzaga. But look at that, quad 9 damage without Faith also. So stay behind it during Rancid Breath. I'm not really worrying about trying to attack anything else here. Getting closer to the stagger. So for now at least I think this is probably one of the best ways to go. But I decided to play it safe here. Getting close to the stagger. But this was very much attack first kind of gameplay. Yeah, this time I was far enough away, because that move, as you've seen, even when you block it, it does big damage. Unless you perfect parry, of course. Basically, what I didn't want to do was push it to a stagger using a Blizzaga, because then I wouldn't have any ATB during the stagger itself. So I wanted to do it like this. Sonic Boom. Here we go. Decided to just go for a Blizzara. I'm hitting quad 9 anyway with the Blizzaga, so yeah, 8,900 there without even needing the Blizzaga. It's insane. Yeah, so taking nice big chunks out of it here. Reapply some resist. Yeah, I don't think that's too big of a deal here. Kind of just sitting there. Yeah, 1076, that's quite a lot of damage, but again, thanks to resist, I'm doing fine. I think one of the only threats really is Tentacle Well. If you get caught out with one of those with relatively little HP, you could be in big trouble. So we have a limit coming soon as well. At this stage I was thinking, come on now, like, I must be... Like, to lose from here, I think I'd be very upset. Yeah, so I decided to go for Faith plus Blizzara instead. I tried to hit the mouth this time, and it does work. So previously I wasn't sure if I had enough in the tank to take the mouth out with a single hit. But with Faith I can. So this time Fetid Haze comes in. Now this gets a bit more dangerous because our HP is dropping rapidly here. And I thought I was far enough away there, so things got quite dangerous here. But again, I've got 114 MP, don't need to be stingy here. Get it all back. We do have a limit break coming soon as well. And there it is. I'm just going to take it immediately so that I can interrupt proceedings. But damage-wise, you can see it's not too great. I mean, we can do more damage with the Blizzara, basically, if we get it right. So this time it's Putrid Breath. So I've lost a bit of momentum here in the fight, but I'm still just trying to find the balance of playing it safe and getting the job done. Alright, staying on it. I think once the next dagger comes I should be able to finish it up, but there you go. That time I made a perfect block, which always helps. And another one. Just bringing it down to size. There it is. 7,200. Still nice damage here. And this should hopefully be almost enough. Not quite. But we're very nearly there. There we go. GG. So yeah, the Levridon was the only challenge here. I think I died to it a couple times, 2 or 3 times. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. So again, like, you don't have to become a pro at like perfect parrying and vengeance mode use and all of that kind of stuff. But again, as long as you have the right setup, you should be, as long as you have at least some level of being able to block and just kind of play it safe when you need to, and that kind of thing, you should be able to clear red as well. So in general, I would say the legendaries have definitely been, on average, I would probably say easier than the brutals I've done so far. So not counting even the one that I failed, I would still say it's probably been a bit easier. But the final legendary that you're going to see, that's going to be seriously problematic. But for now, there is one more solo legendary challenge left, which I'm going to complete, and then we're going to head back to finish off that brutal challenge once and for all.